privileges and expectations of the elite have become a bit of a modern obsession, especially in this day and age where the disparity of quality of life between the haves and the have-nots is not so profound. We are utterly fascinated by what the majority is restricted from. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at 3 mysterious parties and societies. The surrealist Rothschild Party of 1972. When you are exorbitantly wealthy, there is very little that remains totally private. The world is always watching and speculating. A family like the Rothschilds, who are Jewish financiers, are the perfect example of someone under the microscope of society and culture. They have had financial influence in wars, international monopolies, and high society since 1785. Having made an initial profit off of the French Revolution, Mayor Emil Rothschild sent his 5 sons to the most booming cities in Europe to expand his family's control over its commerce. Operating from London, Naples, Paris, and Vienna, the dynasty grew. Rothschild excluded all of his female descendants from his inheritance, which caused intermarriage between them and their cousins. Much of the criticism of the Rothschild family can be dismissed as blatant anti-Semitism. Some, however, like the evidence that they are war profiteers is more valid. According to the European Institute of International Relations, they stated, they have massive investments in industries such as real estate, oil, and construction. They are rumoured to control the world through debt and usury. There are plenty of theories surrounding this untouchable clan, mostly relating to the idea that by designing countries' economies, they are the heads of a new world order. But one particular rumour, steeped in intrigue, is the infamous 1972 Rothschild Ball. The gala was thrown by Guy de Rothschild and his spouse, Marie-Hélène de Rothschild. The couple were uninterested in moderation, and there is no more obvious example than the Château de Ferrières, which became the location of many a soirée. Brigitte Bardot, Yves Saint Laurent, and Grace Kelly, among other famous attendees, frequented this venue. The theme for this particular ball was surrealism, and the hosts, as well as the guests, did not disappoint. According to an article on All Things Interesting by Marko Magaritov, invitations were written backwards so that they had to be read in a mirror. As the sun began to set and guests arrived, the floodlights made the chateau appear as if it was on fire. Servants inside, meanwhile, were dressed as cats and stationed along the main staircase. The tables were littered with plastic baby dolls and taxidermied tortoises. Marie-Hélène, for her part, wore a giant stag's head adorned with real diamonds. Actress Audrey Hepburn wore a birdcage. Perfumer Hélène Rocaz wore a gramophone. Some of the wildest conspiracy theories include that the decor was meant to represent human sacrifice, that Freemason and occult symbols were hidden throughout the night, and that the ball itself was a metaphor for the family's intention of world domination through satanic rituals. Skulls and Bones. The Skulls and Bones Society is likely the blueprint for many popular spoofs of secret societies. Its initiates are known as bonesmen, and they are recruited or tapped near the end of their junior year at Yale. Among its alumni are powerful figures such as Steve Mnuchin, William Taft, John Kerry, and both George Bushes. This club is the oldest of its kind at Yale, which is the 3rd oldest university in the United States. As if that didn't make it exclusive enough, only 15 members are chosen per year. The club's symbol is, fittingly, a skull and crossbones hovering above the number 332, potentially referring to the year 332 BCE, in which Athens went from a democracy to a plutocracy, due in part to the passing of the public speaker Demosthenes. This only furthers the image of the group being elitist and implies that they believe that power should only lie in the hands of the wealthy and privileged, including particularly ridiculous hazing rituals. Most recently, this society has been in the news because descendants of Geronimo, the famous Apache leader, failed to retrieve the skull of the medicine man himself. The skull is thought to be in the bonesman's possession, at their headquarters, which they call the tomb. The tomb, which is used for meetings and rituals, has no windows and gives off an air of Gothic haughtiness. In addition, the Skull and Bones Society also owns a small island that is meant to serve as a location for retreats, although it is in very poor condition due to misuse and neglect. According to Time magazine, whose founder, Henry Luce, is incidentally a bonesman himself, conspiracy theories about the Skull and Bones Society are almost as old as the society itself. The group has been blamed for everything from the creation of the nuclear explosive device to the Kennedy assassination. Opus Dei. It is suspected that Opus Dei is a radical Catholic sect, and many of its members seek to influence society and have pull at the top of the hierarchy. They are infamous for their secrets and expectations of extreme devoutness, and while the majority of its members are like laymen, it is still exclusive. In fact, there are only 500 members in the UK. Among its worldwide body are several high-ranking former members of General Franco's Spain and Ruth Kelly, a former member of Parliament. The cult-like organisation even has ties to highly publicised people all around the world. The Guardian reports Robert Hanssen, the FBI agent who sold secrets to the Russians, had links with the movement. Former FBI Director Louis Freire is also reputed to be a member, and there is also speculation that several justices in the US Supreme Court are followers. Opus Dei is Latin for work of God. Being admitted into the sect is a 5-year process, and while the depictions of the group in Dan Brown's best-selling book, The Da Vinci Code, are not entirely accurate, there is also a support group known as Opus Dei Awareness Network to help former members cut ties. Some former members warn about psychological manipulation and tactics to control its body of membership to stop people from leaving. Wealthy supporters fund this group, and it is so well sponsored that many believe it gives Opus Dei a disproportionate amount of influence. The headquarters are worth $50 million alone. Those of the highest social strata, by definition, restrict the general population from their ways of life. But what we can piece together will hold our interest as we indulge in the escapist fantasy of the lifestyles of the rich and famous. While some of these conspiracies could be rooted in truth, it's interesting to see how far our imaginations can run when filling in the blanks. But what do you make of these mysterious parties and societies? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.